Established in 2004. We were formed by the combining of Chung Kong Infrastructure's ready-mix concrete operations, as well as Pioneer Concrete's operations in Hong Kong, which have been established for over 50 years. It was the direct result of a slackening off of the construction materials industry in general. We have been operating quite successfully for the last 8 years. We are a reasonably big market player in Hong Kong. We command quite a significant position. We mainly deal with products such as concrete and aggregates, and have sister companies in cement supplying us into Hong Kong. So we operate a total of 14 production lines in 8 concrete plants in Hong Kong. We have 2 quarries still established, one at Anderson Road Quarry and one at Lam Tay. Recently we just handed back another site to the government, which was operated at Sheko, and that's been operating since the 1960s. We have a number of operations in the mainland. One currently is due to be commissioned in March, which will supply the vast majorities of aggregates back into HK, probably starting in middle of this year. Plus we have 2 quarries in Zhuhai which are currently mothballed. In Hong Kong we employ 300 employees. We have 170 permanent trucks servicing our customers. We have a number of joint ventures in Hong Kong, as I've indicated, with the quarries, which at this stage aren't up to full production capacity, but once they are, they'll probably employ another 50 people. Yeah, we have found a myriad of different ways to communicate effectively with our employees. We use a quarterly newsletter, which is a newsletter designed to promote the different functional areas of our business. Another form of communication we use regularly is we have an integrated risk management system that allows us to formulate small teams at different levels throughout the organisation. That therefore ensures that any messages or policy developed by the senior management team is filtered down effectively to our staff. We also have a system where we very heavily promote a concept of visible felt leadership. Now, visible felt leadership is in a nutshell, it's something that can be seen. So regularly we will go to visit our sites, maybe once a month or maybe every 2 weeks, whether it's a committee meeting, a safety meeting, a quality meeting. That allows us to provide visibility to all of the staff out there, and the concept of felt is that they actually feel that your presence actually provides them with surety and leadership to make sure the message is very clear and concise and accepted, I guess. I guess the major difficulty for any organisation is to ensure that you can very clearly get the message across to every individual employee. So yes, whilst the average age may be mid-40s, we obviously have people working here in their 20s, and we also have people working in their 60s. The forms of communication that we use must be different. They all can't be the same, so we do take into account the fact that different methods of communication work differently for individuals. So as a result of that, we've developed a number of different methods of communicating with our employees, and that is something from an SMS message to a email message to a newsletter to site meetings, and I guess that is probably the most challenging ways to deal with the message clearly getting across to our staff. So we do work very closely with different members of our teams to ensure that it's effectively covered. We do need to work collaboratively together with the community to ensure that our operations are successful. So therefore our decisions aren't made in isolation, so we make sure that we implement systems that engage with individuals, whether they be the local village, whether they be councillors, but anyone that was President at our recent Safety Promotion Day would acknowledge the level of engagement that we've been able to achieve in 8 years is, as I say, quite significant. Look, a very simple answer, of course, but certainly we acknowledged very early on that to ensure productivity out of our employees, we needed to make the workplace environment a friendly environment. We wanted to make it a harmonious environment. We certainly wanted to make it free of any discriminatory pressures, such as bullying behaviour or any violence in the workplace. So what we set about doing was putting the fundamentals in place, and by the fundamentals we developed very clear policies that were well communicated throughout all of our organisation. So that was the catalyst to start the process, to ensure that employees felt they were protected at the workplace. You know, it's not just about the happiness at work. Happiness is the consequence of everything that you do. So we make sure that all of the activities that we do are planned. We reward people either through remuneration or recognition. We provide suitable working conditions, suitable working environments to ensure that people are productive and happy as a result of that, those influences. We provide, where we can, support services. So for argument's sake, if in the last 2 years, 3 years, we've been offering our staff free medical checks on an annual basis. We provide all of our staff with free flu vaccinations if they so desire. So those all contribute to the outcomes that we're looking at. Each individual's are different. What works for me may not necessarily work for someone else. What we do focus on, though, is not necessarily the amount of hours at work, but the amount of work that's put into the hours and the tasks that we can deliver at the end of the day. We are a service industry, and we have to remember that. We have customers who may require our products to be delivered at 6 o'clock in the morning or at midnight any given night of the week, 7 days a week. So that's always in the back of our mind, that we want to make sure that we can work within the confines of our customers' needs. But at the same time, behind the scenes, we want to work as smart as we can. And a lot of what we've been doing over the last 8 years within Alliance is developing systems that allow us to work a lot smarter, that deliver our products to our customers in a more efficient and timely manner, but not necessarily make our staff work very difficult and onerous hours. We don't have any fixed method, but what we do have is a very formal annual review method that we use very openly for all staff. That allows us two-way feedback. So I know this is unusual, but we do promote a 360-degree view when we do performance reviews. So you're not just reviewing the individual's reviewing you at the same time. And that allows the reviewer to, as generally their supervisors, to make sure that their means of managing individuals is the most effective mean. So we don't necessarily look at retention rates or turnover rates as one of the key indices. We would rather see some surveys that we do in-house as a better indicator of their engagement, of their willingness and their happiness to turn up to work. We do those surveys on a 2-year turnaround basis. We have a number of reward systems in Alliance to recognise good performance. Obviously we are currently talking about the performance review processes, which is to a degree directly linked to two things. One is remuneration, but secondly it allows us to look at the career prospects of those individuals and to map out their career through upskilling them through either formal or informal training. Throughout the year we have other incentive programs that we use for our operations, if you like. We have good housekeeping awards. We have a myriad of different awards, what we call a half blue or a blue award in Alliance, so we acknowledge people's performance if they find 50 hazards in their workplace. So we actually reward people for finding fault in their workplace, which is probably a relatively new concept in Hong Kong. So we do have ongoing awards which we celebrate annually at our promotion day, which is usually in February. We have a multitude of recreational activities. Generally, they're on a more informal basis. We have annual events, of course. We put a lot of effort into celebrating the right festive time of the year. For argument's sake, we'll have a dinner for Christmas or the festive season that we invite all of our staff. We'll also have a spring dinner that's very well attended in a more formal environment. We'll also have a very informal Chinese New Year gatherings to celebrate Chinese New Year. Informally, we have soccer matches that we play on a regular basis against some of our competitors. Mostly we are successful. We will also introduce other challenges to the Alliance team to promote a healthy lifestyle. One recent event was a long hike we did in Lammer Island, where we celebrated the conclusion with a nice lunch. We also have recently been on a walk through the Geo-Heritage site in Sai Kung, which proved quite successful. So we try to link in the social activities into something of value. So when I say something of value, it's something that is valuable to the community. So recently, or in the not foreseeable future, we will be doing a walk for the blind. We'll be doing something promoting Healthy Teeth Day. So we try and link it into something that is going to promote health as well as contribute back to the society.